I'm Sam.
And I'm Greg.
We're human beings. And we like movies.
We'll be doing reviews of brand new releases,
Old classics,
entire sagas.
and even TV shows and video games.
This is Reaction Time.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 28 of Reaction Time Podcast. We have now grown into men.
How are you today, Sam?
I am good. How are you?
I am doing good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ready to talk about something Marvel, because
Yeah.
they basically own the world at this point.
They basically do.
Yeah.
So we are going to just be talking about the first 2 episodes of Secret Invasion.
Yes.
The first third.
The first third. Yeah, it's 6, right?
Yeah, just 6.
Okay.
But they're hour long-ish. 50
they've
to an
been
hour.
longer.
Yeah. And we're just going to talk about kind of where the show is going and maybe some thoughts and predictions. I think this whole thing's going to be spoilers.
Yeah. There's really
There's not a way to
say.
Yeah.
And we'll do like our, you want to do like our scores at the very end?
Yeah, let's wait.
Okay,
Let's
okay.
wait to do that
Awesome.
to the end.
Which is great. I think that's a good
We're
idea.
just going to go over the show in case anybody's watching it and wants to feel about it with some people.
I guess the only spoiler free, out of the 2 episodes, do you recommend this show so far?
To a very specific group of people. I
Okay.
think just if you're really diehard Marvel and you still feel fine about Marvel, then yeah, it's a pretty good show. If you don't care that much, this is not a must see.
Yeah.
At least not yet.
Not yet.
I mean, maybe there will be some crazy reveal. You
There
know what I
could
mean?
be,
I'm
yeah.
assuming there's going to be some reveals, right?
yeah.
But like, I think about something like Moon Knight, and you don't have to see Moon Knight to understand
No.
anything.
No.
At least right now.
Right, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I
so
mean, maybe eventually.
there's several shows that you don't need to see them.
Like She-Hulk.
So if you're somebody who is more of a theater Marvel person, then don't worry about this show. At least right now.
Okay.
I'll let you know at the end of the show.
Yeah.
But right now, it's good, but it's just kind of, it's like, I never saw Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but it feels
didn't
like it's
either.
probably like that, where it's like, it's there, but
I would say if you do want to watch the show, because I've never seen Captain Marvel, I would probably recommend watching
You've never seen Captain Marvel?
Nope.
Oh.
So I was pretty lost.
You should probably watch it.
I was pretty lost at the beginning.
Yeah, you would be super lost. You're going to be lost the whole show.
Well, no, like episode 2 explained a lot of
Guess so.
stuff, but I didn't know what was happening in life.
Yeah. Let's pause for a second.
Okay.
Okay, my dog is gone now. Okay.
The sad little whining.
This sad little baby.
So yeah, I would recommend watching Captain Marvel.
Yeah, or at
problem is
least, have you even watched a breakdown of Captain Marvel?
I just know what it's about. I knew it was about the scrolls.
Well, yeah. But that's
That's it. I just don't like Captain Marvel.
I don't either.
I didn't want to watch a movie about her.
Yeah. Well,
I like Brie Larson because of Room, not The Room, but because of Room.
yeah.
She did very good in that. But other than that, I don't really care for her. So
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean,
didn't
she
wanna
was
watch
good in one movie,
Yeah.
but I just don't like her as a person or an actor.
yeah,
But yeah, so it's tricky because I think it's good so far.
I've actually been entertained so far.
I was really worried because I heard a lot of people say, like a lot of critics and stuff was like, this is the Andor of the MCU.
Yeah.
And they mean it in a great way because critics are idiots and think Andor's good. So I was like, oh, so it's just going to be a really boring show. And in a way, it's similar because it is the boring thing of the MCU in a lot
Yeah,
of ways, right? There's no superheroes
No,
as far as
we
right
know
now.
so far.
So, yeah. But it's way better than Andor because it's moving.
Yeah, it is.
You know, it's moving along and telling a story and stuff. And what's so fun about this show is you have no idea who's a Skrull and who's not.
That's a cool thing
No
about it.
idea.
Yeah.
And you can theorize all you want, but really,
You don't know.
you don't know.
Yeah.
No idea.
Especially in like the second episode when he's talking to
Rhodey?
Rhodey.
Yeah.
And he's like, how well do you trust your people? He's like, because they're all spies. I have no idea if his henchmen are all Skrulls.
Oh, you have no idea if Rhodey's
Yeah.
a Skrull.
Yeah, exactly.
No idea.
Or if Nick Fury, because
right.
that happened.
Okay, so can we just talk about like,
Spoilers.
well, yeah, we're spoiling. We're spoiling.
We're spoiling.
We've been
dude.
spoiling,
We've
bro.
been spoiling for a spoiler
Okay,
minute.
let me ask you a couple questions.
Yes.
Do you think Rhodey is a Skrull? Yes or no?
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah.
Because I watched some videos And now I'm deep in the theories.
Nice.
Basically, he called him Nick. And he says, my friends call me, he said like several times, I think in the MCU, he said, my friends call me Fury, that nobody calls me Nick.
Oh.
called him Nick. And then he's just like, he was really mean.
Yeah.
He's kind of like a jerk to him.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And even in like
Something's off.
the gathering that they had with all the people of the world, he was just like super like trying to pin it on somebody else or just not talk about it or anything like that. Which I mean could be normal, but it just seemed a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about that. Do you think Maria is dead?
So here's the thing. Deaths kind of off screen are those ones where you really don't know. She did in theory die on screen.
Did they sit on her long enough for us to know that she was not a Skrull? Because when we see other
'cause he's
Skrulls die,
holding
they
her.
change to Skrull pretty quickly.
Yeah, but he holds her.
Does he?
Yeah, and then the guy pulls him off of her.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, he comes up to her and kind of holds her, but I don't know if she had fully died yet.
My thing with her dying is less about the show and more about the MCU. Like,
Not actually killing people.
not that, but what am I trying to say? It's like, for example, when people speculated that Iron Man was going to die, it was actually just because Robert Downey Jr.'s contract was up and he hadn't re-signed.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it doesn't actually have anything to do with the movie. It's more about like real world circumstances.
They couldn't
That's
afford him
why
anymore.
I'm wondering if she's dead, because this feels like a really weird place and time to kill somebody who's been in the MCU for so long.
In the first episode.
First episode, kind of no lines, only credited as a guest star.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of shoot her and then she dies and that's it. And I'm like, that's kind of weird because she was like, she's been in it for so long.
Yeah, but she's never been like
Not
that
super
much in
important,
it.
But like,
I guess in Captain Marvel, was she in it a lot?
I can't remember. I hate
Okay.
that movie. But
Because she kind of took over for Agent Coulson,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
But like his death was, like, I feel like she needs a death similar
but
to
he
his.
didn't even die.
Coulson?
Yeah, he came back in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Wasn't that before?
No, because he dies in.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you didn't know
I didn't know
this
that.
because everybody talked about how he died, but then he came back in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, I didn't know.
I don't know how he came
Weird.
back because I didn't watch the show.
Huh.
I just know he came back.
So it just felt weird. It felt like out of place.
It did feel weird and it felt out of place, but
that's why
I
I'm
also
wondering.
wasn't surprised by it. Like, if she is fully dead and that is how she dies, I'm not going to be like, they did her dirty or anything.
Yeah, I
because
guess so. I don't
she
care
She
that
always
much.
felt like just an extra character
Yeah.
that was maybe got people to talk about it. Oh my gosh, Maria dies. That's crazy. You should watch Secret Invasion. And that's kind of it.
That's true.
So maybe they have nothing else in this.
Weird. What do you think about like the show overall?
So the first episode until the end I thought was a little boring. I was also totally lost, so that doesn't help.
Yeah, that would make you just not love it.
But then I thought the bomb and all that stuff was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Him being Nick Fury and shooting her was cool. I actually really enjoyed episode 2.
I did too.
Like, it was good. The dynamic of him and is it Talos on the train. I thought that was great. The tell me something I don't know story that
Yeah.
he had with his mom. I thought that was cool. And like saying that there's like 2 million of them on the earth or something like
There's
that.
a million,
A
yeah.
million, yeah.
This is why that scene did not. It was great, and then it all of a sudden did not work for me.
Yeah.
because he was like, we used to have to ride on the colored car and segregation, blah blah blah, and then he's like, "There's no room for your kind on my planet." I was like, that was a quick turnaround, sir. Like,
And it was also like
it was weird to throw it in the same, almost
Yeah.
the same sentence.
And also, why playing that game does Talos now tell him that there's a million of them? Why didn't he tell him before? You know?
It's just, yeah. So,
But it felt cool.
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh, for sure.
Just like the shots and music and everything, and just like their acting, I thought was really good
Yeah.
in that scene. Here's my one thing.
'Kay.
I love Samuel L. Jackson.
yes,
He is old, and
yeah,
you can tell when people start to get older as actors, they don't move with the same grace and fluidity as they did when they were younger. So whenever he's in like kind of an action thing, doesn't do much for me.
Well, I also think this show is weird because he's way more Samuel L. Jackson than he is Nick Fury.
Yes.
Like he's made this weird transition to where and I've never seen it, but he's
Pulp
like Pulp Fiction,
yeah,
Samuel L.
100%,
Jackson. And
yeah.
it's like he's saying things that Samuel L. Jackson says
Say
in
what
Capital
again?
in Capital One commercials, you know, but he doesn't say as Nick Fury. So
Yeah.
that's been a little weird, and maybe he's a Skrull.
His
I don't know.
whole show could
You
be
never
him being
know.
a Skrull.
At the end, it's just gonna be like everyone was a Skrull. The end. Like that's dumb, But so
This was just a fake neighborhood created by
Yeah.
somebody.
right. So I don't know.
So that's my only thing. I love him as an actor. He's so good.
Yeah,
But it's like Harrison Ford. Just
kill him.
find somebody else
Yeah.
at this point,
No, that's fair. So I think, second episode I think was stronger. I loved the torture scene. I also think that
Yeah.
they were a little more gory, violent than Marvel usually is. Like she cut the
seeing
finger
that
off,
one, seeing the skin, and stuff
skin
growing
and
on
the
him.
blood
That looked
and-
good.
and stabbing people and whatnot.
Yeah,
So
she just cuts she cuts the finger off and then she just holds it and the camera like pans with her holding
Oh,
the
yeah,
cut off
it's
finger. And I
gross.
was like, all
Marvel's
right,
never,
Marvel.
never done that before. So
I'm not stopping you.
good on them. But so
That's kind of a crazy torture. I'd never have thought
Oh,
about that in my life.
just chopping a finger off?
No, the freaking blood boiling
Oh,
at 106
yeah.
degrees. I was like, oh my God, I would talk.
That's horrible. Yeah. But I think it was good. Like I'm like looking forward to the next episode.
I'm now intrigued with episode 2.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think I think what is helping this show is the fact that anybody could be a Skrull.
Right.
If that wasn't the case, I don't think this would be that good of a show.
No, but it's keeping a mystery the whole
Yeah,
time.
it always keeps it mysterious, kind of no matter what, and you never know. Even if they reveal somebody's a Skrull, then you don't know in the future if that same person still is or not. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they have that like really in their favor
Yeah.
because otherwise, this show's I think it's a little sloppy
Yes.
overall,
Yeah.
just with the story and stuff. It's not bad,
It's not bad.
but it just feels a little sloppy.
I think the villain's doing really well.
Uh-huh.
I like him a lot. He reminds me of Warmonger and Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, he falls into the sympathy villain category.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The only thing that was a little weird in episode 2 was the very end, where he just
Where he
makes
just
out
takes
with
him and shoots him?
he makes out with the Skrull girl. Very end. He comes home and the Skrull's cutting the
Oh,
cucumbers,
yeah.
and then she changes into
Okay,
who is that? Like
it's his wife.
right? So has he made a new wife?
This is the question.
Or
Has
is he
he
a
always been
Skrull?
married to the Skrull? Is he a Skrull? Does he know she's a Skrull? These are the questions that we have. Which honestly, I like. I like that
I
there's
do
that
too,
mystery.
but it was so weird.
I think he knows she's well. Here's the thing: if he knows she's a Skrull, then it makes his line even worse that there's not room for them on his planet.
Exactly.
So there's this whole open-ended thing of like, what does he know? What does he not know? All this kind of stuff. Is he a Skrull? That's the
Right.
big one.
Yeah.
Right. Is Nick Fury still in space?
Right. So what was he doing in space in
don't
Saber?
know.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if that was something in Captain Marvel or
No, that was
Okay.
way later.
okay. Never mind.
So that's the weird thing is like, what was he doing in space?
Yeah.
Like, why was he there?
Yeah.
Did they tell us? Did I miss it?
I don't know, because I'm trying to think if
Because it was
you definitely haven't missed anything.
Far From Home. I've seen everything.
You've seen everything.
Far From Home, the post-credit scene is where we see him in space. Because that entire movie, he's a Skrull.
Yes.
But then do they say anything else about it? And at the beginning of the show, he's back on Earth. And then they're like, why were you in space for so long? And that's it. So I don't think I missed anything.
No.
But I don't know.
Huh.
No idea.
Weird.
Maybe he was in a post-credit scene at the end of Guardians. I'm just kidding.
No, he wasn't.
Because I missed it.
I didn't miss it.
That's true. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm more confused than anything about everything. That's
I
going
definitely am. But I if I had to rank in numbers, episode 1, I'd give like a 6.8.
on. Okay.
But episode 2, I'd probably give like an 8.8. I thought
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, first episode I'd probably give like a 6.5, and then second episode probably 7.5 or 8. I'm just really confused. I don't know if that's the episode's fault or if or like the show's fault or if it's
I'm
my fault.
sure that's what they're trying to do is confuse you.
Yeah.
But I will say after the first episode, I was like, and after the second one, I'm like, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the next episode.
Yeah.
Like I want to see what happens. I really hope, and I'm going to be disappointed because their TV shows usually start out pretty good, and then they like have no way to end them, and then they just randomly end.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point, actually.
Like WandaVision started out really, really cool, and it ended fine.
Yeah.
Moon Knight, the 5th
Just
episode was the
ended.
best, and then the 6th one just kind of Loki was really good, and then I guess Loki ended better in
I
a
think
way.
it ended really good.
Yeah,
But then
like
the
right before
middle
then
end,
was
yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
So I keep wanting there to be some weight to this show.
Gosh, I hope so. I just want it
Because
to
I
impact.
kind of-
I want it to impact the future.
And I kind of like it, like the scrolls and all that mystery and
Yeah.
everything like that. I'm like, they could do a lot with that in the other Marvel shows or Marvel movies,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm worried it's just gonna end and then it's just gonna be like, okay, that was another She-Hulk or Moon Knight.
Well, and hopefully, like, there's a reason that the Marvels is the next Marvel movie. So it's like maybe
Yeah.
more scrolls. Because if we get to that movie or whatever the next Marvel movie is, and there's nothing to do with the scrolls, then it becomes weird. Because you
Right.
have all these scrolls here who can impersonate superheroes, and they don't.
yeah,
So it's just like, you can't introduce something that big and then not have it affect anything.
Uh-huh.
That's one thing that they've done.
especially
every
when there's
once
a
in while.
million of them on
It's
the world.
it's the Eternals thing where you have a celestial sticking out of half of the earth,
and just,
and what
there's nothing.
I think
with
they
it.
kind of like mention it in the background of one newscast in some movie.
Yeah,
Someone's
probably.
like, people are trying to figure out this giant thing sticking out of the earth. It's like, no, that's like not like, whoa, what is this thing? How did it show up? It's like, oh, half our earth is a person now.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just saying, it's weird.
I think they've lost their vision.
Yeah,
They need vision back.
they do.
Pun intended.
Funny, nice.
Here all week.
Whatever.
Here every Friday.
So okay, last question:
yes.
Is Talos the bad guy? What do you think?
No.
You don't think so?
I can see him becoming the bad guy.
Yeah. I think he was the bad guy at the beginning of Captain Marvel, if I remember correctly. He started as the bad guy and then turns out he was kind of a good guy all along, and now he's like buddies with him. So that's why I think he might not be the bad guy, because it would be weird to just like put him back in the bad guy position.
The only reason why I don't think he'll be the bad guy is because of Gaia. Because I think she's starting to figure everything out. And I think she's starting to ban away from all of that.
Do you know about the Super Scroll?
Super Scroll. No.
Okay, I don't know everything about this. I'm
Okay.
speaking. I'm pretty out of turn here, but so the Super Scroll in the comics was a scroll that was able to impersonate, but also receive the powers of Groot and a frost giant and a couple other of those things.
Like the thing she
So
was
when
looking up on the
at-
computer.
I think they were hinting at that's either going to happen or it was an Easter egg, right? One of the two.
Yeah.
But then that becomes like a thing. So like if they do
Because
the Super
what are they
Scroll,
doing?
right?
With the people and the everything like that.
Yeah. So if they can, because they have all these pieces of, because they have a piece of Groot, I think, from one of the times he died, right?
Yeah.
And then they have the Frost Giant because I think S.H.I.E.L.D. says they've captured him, but we haven't seen it. So I'm wondering
Okay.
if they actually didn't capture it and it's still roaming or something.
Okay.
And there's a couple other things on that computer that I can't remember.
Yeah, I couldn't remember.
But so if they do the Super Scroll and it becomes somebody who's like this cool like villain that has all these different weird powers that can like impersonate things,
So
that
does
would be really
Gravik
cool.
become the Super Scroll?
I don't know, but I would actually really like that.
That'd be cool.
I think that'd be super dope.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they do something cool because I don't want this to only be like spy thriller and then be done. I'd like it to also get into more of the superhero-y action world kind of
Yeah.
at some point.
I guess if they have the Super Scroll, though, how do you have it in there and no Avengers?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Except for that the Avengers are all gone and dead.
Right, but like Chris Hemsworth could come and help, or the Guardians, or
all the babies.
even Rodney.
Who's Rodney?
Rudy? Rodney? Roddy? Rhodes? Rhodey?
Rhodey.
Rhodey?
Rodney.
I could not remember his name.
Nickname War Machine. First name Rodney.
Rhodey?
Rudy.
Rudy.
Julie Rhodey. Ruby. Rubby? His name is Rubby. Rhodey. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So they have people, but it's like,
They're not going to get the big people.
no.
So then are they just going to make
not.
another TV show where they're like, the Avengers aren't available? Because that can only happen so many times.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess at this point, they're like, the Avengers aren't a thing anymore.
yeah.
But
That's a big issue with everything.
the hard thing is, instead of just making TV shows like like the original cartoon X-Men or something like that. They're tying it together. So,
Well, yeah,
so they
now it's
have
like
to
a
tie it
now
together.
it's just a long movie,
Right, so
instead
it's-
of an episode by episode by
Yeah,
episode, which
so-
would be way cooler.
Yeah, and it would
honestly.
be fine if it was just something totally different and
Yeah.
had nothing to do with anything. I'd be okay with that, but they're tying it in, so it's like, well, I'm going to be disappointed now if
Yeah.
you're not actually tying it in.
I just really think they should make their shows more like Daredevil was.
Yeah.
Did you watch their Daredevil?
I didn't.
I recommend that.
I know.
Daredevil's
So does
really,
everybody.
really good. But that is 3 or 4 seasons, and so it's a long show, but it's kind of both where and obviously every show has this, but it like has an overarching story. Or is it overarching or overarching?
Overarching.
I don't know.
Overarching.
It has an overarching story. I don't know. They're both wrong. at this point.
Overlarking.
There's an overlarping story, but there's also sub
underlarping
stories, and there's a story per episode.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily. There are arcs, right? So, but I think they should do that more with their Marvel shows, because like a 6 or 8 episode show, you're just making a long movie, which I think is why. And when we're done talking about this, I'm gonna go off on Disney Plus for a minute. But this is my beginning of that. Like, that's why most of their Disney Plus shows have been bad, is because they're not doing it like a TV show. They're doing it like a movie,
Just a long movie.
but just dragging it out,
Yeah.
which makes it mediocre.
Yeah.
It's like, why haven't you figured that out yet? You're losing so much money.
All their TV shows could have been put into one movie.
Yeah,
Like each movie, a Moon Knight movie.
It would
a
cost the same
WandaVision
amount of
movie.
money.
Yeah.
or less. Like, just do a good movie or do a longer TV show
Yeah.
and make each episode shorter.
Right.
I don't know. It's weird. So anyway,
So
Maybe-
yeah, I mean, if you want to watch it,
yeah.
that second episode was pretty good.
If you're like a Marvel fan and you like the stuff with the scrolls and stuff, like, it's a good watch.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like, if you're bored, but I don't think you should put off better content to watch this.
Yeah, don't put off Better Call Saul to watch this.
No way.
Yeah,
I'm watching Better Call Saul.
that
Been
would
pretty
be
good.
really dumb.
I'm watching it.
Are you?
Oh yeah, I've been watching it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you liking
Don't
it?
you worry. It's getting better and better every
Like I-
episode.
like I
No,
told
like
you?
you told me.
Okay.
I'm not like that deep into it. I can tell you exactly where I'm at. Because Craig is so concerned about me finishing Better Call Saul. It will be
I really am.
so long until I'm done with this show.
I know.
But I'm going to do it.
Because you're probably watching like an episode like every other year.
Every other week might be accurate.
Oh.
Or
Actually,
every
probably-
week.
I was
Let's
gonna say,
see.
that probably
Season 2, episode 9.
Oh, okay.
How many episodes are there in
I
a
think
season?
there's 11 in each one.
Let's see. 10 in season 2.
Then there's going to be.
And there's 6 seasons. And
Yeah.
there's 10. There's 10.
Yeah, there's all 10, except for the last one.
Yeah. So I'm getting there, but they're long-ish.
Mm-hmm.
They're like 45, 50 minutes. So, okay, Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I guess I said kind of everything I need to, but like, they are making horrible content,
Yes.
and I'm trying to figure out why they keep doing it.
They did so well in with the 10 years, with starting with Iron Man and
Yeah.
ending with Avengers Endgame. And was it just actors at this point? Were they all not great, but the actors were so good that we all just loved it? That can't be right.
because the movies were so fun and interconnected.
Here's the thing that
and
I
had
think is
weight.
here's
and
the thing that I think is
consequences.
a problem.
Okay.
And I actually didn't mind this before, and now it's starting to really bother me, is before it was a movie, then it was the next movie, then it was the next movie, then it was the next movie, right?
Yeah.
That was it. Some tied together, not all of them did. This is now, you have to watch this TV show on Disney Plus. You have to go watch this movie. You have to make sure you watch this movie. You have to make sure you watch this TV show on Disney Plus. Then you have to make sure you watch this TV show on Disney
Yeah.
Plus. Then you have to make sure you watch this movie. And it's just, but like, if somebody didn't want to watch Loki, but they wanted to watch Ant-Man, they're going to be lost because they didn't watch Loki. They don't know
Yeah.
who Kang is, right?
Yeah.
In a way, they reintroduced him slightly in Ant-Man, but it's like before,
Well, they're lucky because Loki is the one everyone watched.
right?
But
But like WandaVision, freaking watching that show just made Doctor Strange worse because you
Yeah.
spent an entire series with the development
well,
of
and if
somebody.
you didn't watch it, Doctor Strange made no sense.
Doesn't make
at
any
all.
sense.
Like, not even a tiny
so it
bit.
either doesn't make sense or you hate it because it's like, why did I watch this show if you're just reversing everything?
Yeah.
So they're just, you have to watch so many different things now
Yeah.
for it to make sense.
I just think, like, if you're going to do a TV show with superheroes, you need every episode to be a superhero episode. You can't have like 3 dialogue episodes and then do a superhero episode. It doesn't work. And it doesn't work in Star Wars either. It doesn't work for any of the Disney Plus. I mean, they're mainly, as far as shows going, they're doing Marvel and Star Wars.
Right.
I mean, there's other like random stuff they're doing like for kids, but
Yeah.
we're not talking about that. But that's the issue is like they need to either basically stop making shows or go to like a Saturday morning cartoon
Yeah.
type of thing where it's like each episode is its own thing. Because it'd be fun to have like pick any superhero and instead of being like this is one 8-hour movie, be like each episode is like he's fighting a villain or something like that. Because every other show could have been so cool if it was like that. But it's just the lack of development and just like just because you drag us out for like 8 or 10 episodes doesn't make it better.
No, it makes it worse.
It makes it so much worse because it's boring.
And then people don't want to watch it.
Yeah, and then you feel like you wasted your time. You get grumpy at Marvel. A lot of times you don't have to watch the show, so you get to the end and you're like, oh, that's not impacting anything in the MCU. It's just like all this stuff. It's just weird.
It's very weird. I mean, even Kang took like, how many years did Loki come out than Ant-Man? I mean, we didn't hear anything about Kang.
Because it was like, was
probably
Loki
like
2020 or 2021?
I think it was 2020. It was at least 2 or 3 years though.
Yeah.
And so it was like, oh yeah, I remember watching Loki 2 or 3 years ago. I remember what happened at the end. So yeah, I think I remember Kang.
Yeah.
But
It was June of 2021.
okay,
so,
yeah. So almost
2 years.
Almost 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's like end of Iron Man was the Avengers Initiative.
Yeah.
And then Thor was a little bit about the Avengers stuff. And then Captain America was a little bit more about the Avengers stuff. And then we had the Avengers.
And then we did more stuff.
And we did more stuff.
Right.
And then we had the second Avengers that was we don't talk about. And then
You don't like the second Avengers
yeah,
movie?
it's fine.
Wow.
Here's
I'm so curious. I'm so excited to talk about that with you because
it's the biggest thing. The trailer showed Ultron as this like dark, crazy, evil villain. And then
it's
he was
just
just a
James Spader.
jokester.
yeah, that's fair.
And I hated it.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
Best part of that was when Captain America barely moves the hammer. And you see Chris Hemsworth's eyes get all big. That was
Yeah.
like the best thing of
Yeah.
the thing. Anyways, that's besides the point. But then you kept, it was building and it was building, but they were also good movies. I mean,
Yeah.
if you break out all of the Marvel movies in the first 10 years, Thor 1 and 2, for me, most people it's just Thor 2. I didn't really care for the first Thor. Thor 2
Yeah.
wasn't great. And the first Captain America was fine, right?
Yeah.
And then
It's as good as it needed to be.
Iron Man 2 and 3 were all right. You take
Yeah.
out those and everything else was like really, really cool.
Iron Man 2 and 3 probably sucked, but because it was Iron Man, I still love those.
Of course,
movies
right? Yeah,
so much.
I watch them because it's Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
right.
They're just I think at this point they're just lacking the right characters.
Well,
I
why
think
did
that's
people
a
watch
lot of
Loki?
it. Because Loki.
Because it's Loki.
Yeah.
and it's
And it's Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's if they didn't have him, Loki wouldn't have been as popular.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, just like Moon Knight, and they're not as popular because they're
Well,
new
and now
people.
I'm like mad at Moon Knight because Moon Knight is a cool character, and the show was,
it was fine.
it had some fine stuff.
Yeah.
But overall, I was disappointed because I know what Moon Knight can be, and it wasn't that.
and you
You hardly ever saw Moon Knight.
and we haven't seen him anymore.
And we haven't seen him.
Yeah.
In what, 2 years?
And maybe he'll be in freaking the Avengers 6.
Maybe in
Maybe.
2026 or something.
Yeah,
So it's like, what, you're going to wait for your actor to be 55 before you put
know.
him in another thing?
it's freaking Oscar Isaac.
it's just-
Use him.
They're just doing weird stuff, man.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
They need to, if they're going to do a TV show, that's great. But either have it be something totally different that doesn't have any weight in the story so that people can just watch it.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be part of the MCU, but just a Marvel show. Or make little mini movies. I mean, you don't have to release it in theaters. They could
Yeah.
have made a Moon Knight movie on Disney Plus that was those 6 episodes cut into a 2-hour-long movie.
that would have been way better.
It would have been way better.
100%. I just think that, what do you think about a reboot? What's your opinion? If they're like, we're starting Iron Man 1 again.
My only thing is we've very closely gotten to that, a reboot.
Like with what?
Well, because there is no Iron Man, there's no Captain America.
Yeah.
They're putting out Moon Knight. So I guess
But like, what if they like started it over from Iron Man and then did Captain America and Thor and stuff?
I don't know if I would want. To me, the reason why we got the 10 years was because of Iron Man, the first one.
Yeah.
If that hadn't have existed and you didn't have Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, I don't think we would have gotten everything else. And it would have turned into DC where they would have pushed to have everything and then they would have crumbled.
And if you would have started with Thor or even Captain America,
it wouldn't have worked.
It wouldn't have worked.
It wouldn't have worked.
It wouldn't have gone anywhere.
Which is funny because Iron Man isn't the face of Marvel. He is now.
He is now.
But you think about it before.
It was like Hulk.
It was Hulk, Spider-Man, and X-Men.
And X-Men.
That was your powerhouses.
Yeah.
So when Iron Man was even first announced, it was just kind of like, I mean, that's cool, whatever.
But it's just Iron Man, the way they did him, even outside of Robert Downey Jr., I mean, he's so good at that character.
Oh, yeah.
But even if it was somebody else in the suit, Iron Man's just cool.
Do you think it would work? Who do you
I don't know if it would have worked, but I just think that Iron Man in the suit is cool. It's cool. It's just something you want to watch.
Right, yeah.
And I'm not saying that's sustainable.
Well, yeah, no.
But I'm saying you put anybody else in an Iron Man suit, it's
I mean,
cool.
you could do like a Mandalorian
I mean,
type thing.
if Rhodey comes out in his suit, dude, I'm going to get stoked about it.
Yeah.
Because cool.
I know,
you have Iron Man kind of back for a second.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm seeing him in this and I'm like, I bet we're not going to get anything with him.
I would say there is almost no chance we see War Machine. I'm gonna predict this right now. 0 superheroes in this whole show.
Yes. Other than maybe like a Super Scroll. But that's not really
maybe
a superhero.
that. But that's a villain.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
Yeah.
0.
100%. I agree with that. No superheroes.
So, yeah.
You might see them, but you're not going to see them as a superhero.
Right. I like your idea of making Disney Plus movies. Because
Yeah.
you lower the budget, you make something that because obviously if you're making a show, you feel like it's less important, right? Fine. That's cool. Make a movie.
I know.
And put it on a Disney Plus.
I know.
You're losing money either way. Make something good.
Well, then it would probably be a little bit easier to get better people in it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm sure it costs them way more to have freaking Samuel L. Jackson in 6 episodes than it would have cost them to have 1 movie.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's like, I assume it would be very easy to get Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight in a movie than it would another TV show.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and here's the way. When I think about my Disney Plus subscription, sometimes I'm like, why do I have this? You know why I have it? Because there's Star Wars on there and there are the old Marvel movies.
we
other
have it
than
'cause
that-
of our kids
I don't have it for any other reason.
and myself because I like Disney movies and Pixar.
I guess there are some, but it's like they're
guess-
not putting things out that are good.
No.
So they
No.
should,
It's literally, it's just
Stop.
their collection of old stuff.
because that's how they're losing money, right?
Yeah.
All the other stuff, all the things that people are watching, they've already made and paid for. So they could make money by just not making new Disney Plus content and
Yeah.
just leave it. If they just left it how it was, they'd profit so much.
Oh,
off of that.
100%. That's probably what
They
they
have a
were.
ton of
Well, they were
subscribers.
profiting at the beginning because that's all it was.
Yeah.
It
And
was just-
Mandalorian slapped and added so many subscribers.
Yeah.
First 2 seasons were great.
Yeah.
Then they waited 2.5 years,
And-
put out a mediocre season.
Yeah.
In the meantime, they were putting out mediocre Marvel content and they started
and
losing
other
money.
Star Wars mediocre stuff.
Yeah, that's true. So it's just,
They're just throwing everything at it and trying to see if something sticks, but
Yeah.
all of their stuff is crap.
so they got to pivot, man. I wonder if Bob Iger's going to pivot anything or if they're going to sell.
I just wonder
There's
what happened
talks
with
about
Kevin Feige.
there's talks about them selling Disney to Apple. And so it would still be Disney, but Apple would own it because Disney basically needs capital. They
Dang.
need money. So I'd be very curious to see
That'd be weird.
what would happen if they did that. Because Apple's worth what, $2 trillion now, I think?
Oh, yeah.
It's
It's
up there.
insane.
Let's see. What's Apple's value? What do you think it is? I know they hit $1 trillion like a few years ago.
1.5 trillion.
$3.05 trillion, dude.
Jeez and
That is a crazy amount of money.
Oh, I guess that's why they can keep charging so much money for stuff.
100%. Disney's worth $160 billion.
Holy crap.
Put that into perspective, dude.
Disney owns everything.
What's the biggest company you can think of?
Google?
Google's worth $1 trillion.
Frick.
Apple's like,
I don't think there's anything bigger than Apple.
what company?
I mean, maybe,
People are just
even
listening to this podcast and like, what are these guys talking about?
even
at this point?
Microsoft, like you could look up freaking, Microsoft, but there's no way they're that high.
Apple is the most valuable company in the world.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's nothing that's even close.
They can buy Disney. They can buy everything. They can buy the United States.
They
of
can buy
America.
Elon Musk.
They're worth $20 trillion more than America.
Yeah. They still can't buy the LDS Church. What?
I know, right? We're not even gonna get into that. Who knows how much money he got? That's a lot of money. So that's a little finance joke for you there. But anyway, I would love, honestly.
The only thing about
I'm really wanting. At this point, I would love for Disney to sell Star Wars at least.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind if they sold Marvel.
At least if they sold Star Wars, somebody would have the guts to get rid of Kathleen Kennedy and make it better again. Oh my gosh. Make Star Wars great again.
You guys, boycott Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
If it bombs, she's gone. Okay. Kathleen Kennedy needs to go. So here's the thing. Which has happened so many times now. The next 2 Avengers movies are slotted now, I believe, for 26 and 27.
Okay.
So basically, they're just dangling good movies in front of us for
Blade
4 years in the future.
Yeah.
And so now I'm like, because sometimes I'm like, man, I'm done with Marvel. But then Guardians comes out, and I'm like, Guardians is great. I love Guardians.
But that's James Gunn, and it's the Guardians.
I know.
And the more I think about Ant-Man, the more I hate it.
And so I'm like, I can't be done with Marvel because I have to hold on. You know what I
For
mean?
what, though?
For 2026 and 2027.
But what's that going to be?
That's the thing.
Who's
So
there?
I keep telling
Doctor
myself.
Strange?
Apparently everybody. It's Secret Invasion. Everybody's supposed to show back up. Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans.
As Skrulls?
Everybody. No, as multiverse versions of
Skrulls?
themselves. I hope not. Jeez, I don't know.
It ends and they just all are Skrulls and they've taken over the world.
The whole thing is scrolls, and they're like, now go watch DC. We're done. So, I don't know, because they've got me holding on for this
See, I guess I am
finale
not
or
anymore.
whatever. You're not? You're done?
Okay, for the finale of Secret Invasion, yeah.
Oh, no, but Secret Wars.
No.
You're done with the Avengers?
I don't care.
See, I'm like wondering.
If I see a
I'm
trailer...
not going to hold. Do I hold on for 4 more years?
Why?
I'm going to be in my 30s.
Why do I hold on?
That's true.
If I see a trailer, I might be like, maybe.
Can I just stop watching things? I just feel like there's better content now.
Yeah, there is.
There's stuff I'd rather watch than
I'd
a
rather watch
mediocre
Extraction
thing.
2 than any Marvel movie.
That's true.
And I don't even care to watch it again.
I want to watch Iron Man 1. That's what I want to watch.
Yeah.
I want to relive the glory days.
Iron Man 1 and Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Civil War, and Thor Ragnarok.
Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah.
And She-Hulk. Ha! That was a joke.
And Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Okay.
But that's
Well,
my thoughts.
Yeah.
This
That's my
doesn't
thoughts,
have
too.
anything to do with how good Secret Invasion is because it's decent,
It's decent. Yeah.
but not must-watch content.
It's decent, but I'm predicting now I'm going to be disappointed.
It's
by
not
the
as
end.
bad as She-Hulk, which was the last Marvel show,
Well, I mean,
which was almost a year ago.
I don't know if it could ever be as bad as long as you've got Nick Fury in it. So if
Yeah,
Nick Fury twerks, I'm never watching it again.
Oh my God. I can't do it anymore. Freaking Marvel. Okay. Well, those are our thoughts. We'll come back at the end of the show
Yeah.
in a month
Okay.
and talk about it.
Yeah. We probably won't do another update till the end.
Yeah.
So
Unless something crazy
unless something
happens.
crazy happens.
But I'm almost guaranteeing that's not going to happen.
No, not to the last episode.
If Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man shows up, we will jump back on here and talk about it. What was that for?
If they do that, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Yeah. Dude, but it would actually
That's
be
a
funny.
freaking cash
It would
grab.
actually be funny if he does show up and it's a scroll.
That
right?
would be kind of funny.
And someone's like, I thought you were dead. And the scroll like changes it back to a scroll. He's like, he's dead? Nobody told me. I've been walking around like this for so long. That would actually
That would be
funny.
hilarious.
So I'm down if they do that.
Okay. I'm down if they do that too.
Okay. Well, that does it for today. This was supposed to be 20 minutes long. Here we are at 4.
Here we are. Well, it was maybe 15 minutes of
Maybe 15.
Secret Invasion and then 25 of us complaining about Disney Plus.
Actually, that's probably true.
and how much money Apple's
Yeah.
made.
What's the next Disney Plus show?
I don't know. Isn't it the Star Wars one?
No, I mean, sorry, Marvel.
Oh. I
Is
don't
it
know.
Echo?
Is there another one?
Oh, there's always another
Oh,
one.
God. The heck is Echo?
The chick from
Echolocation?
Hawkeye.
Oh, I never saw Hawkeye.
She's deaf.
I never saw Hawkeye.
Let's see. Disney Plus Marvel shows 2023.
It's 2023.
Secret Invasion. Loki season 2 is October. The Marvels isn't coming out till November. I thought
Yeah.
that was July.
No, it's November. Wait,
Oh.
when's Loki 2?
October.
Okay. That's probably the next one I would watch.
Okay. So October's Loki 2. Marvel's is November. Echo is November. Ironheart is It just says fall of this year. So we'll see.
Okay.
We got nothing Marvel literally until October.
That's
Full
good.
drought. Yeah, I need a break.
Yeah.
Yeah. And nothing Star Wars, hopefully, ever again. Just leave it where it's at. You perfectly destroyed it.
Yeah.
Actually, sorry. What am I talking about? Ahsoka comes out in less than 2 months. I have your list, by the way.
Okay, thank you.
Craig's going to watch some Ahsoka stuff so he knows who she is.
So that I know who she is.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's it. We'll see you next week for Extraction 2.
Yes.
Featuring Chris Hemsworth.
Featuring Chris Hemsworth in our podcast.
Special guest star.
Special guest star Idris Elba
as British guy.
as
I've got something that I've got to have you do. You got to go extract somebody from a different place, different universe. It's multiverse.
No, he's gonna be Zootopia, dude.
Zootopia. Well, who's he in Zootopia?
He's the
Lion?
I don't remember what the thing is called.
A yak?
Yeah.
The naked yak?
No, the main dude of the police department.
The lion?
No, he's not a lion.
Cheetah?
No, a cheetah. Cheetah girls.
Oh, yeah, the wildebeest.
Wildebeest. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I love Zootopia.
Zootopia is fantastic.
Okay. Well, we'll see you next week, folks. Oh, shoot. Okay. We will see you next week for Ragnarok.
Oh.
It's at Canada's trippiest indoor-outdoor Neptune. to
Isolate.
my ears.
To if your ears.
To if my ears. That's why we're going to go to Canada's indoor-outdoor Neptune.
Okay. Sometimes I like my ears ifed.
If my ears. Okay, bye
Okay, bye.
everybody.